Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dynasty After Dark. I'm your host, Calvin Timms. You can find me over on Twitter at TDC_Calvin. I'm excited to have my co-host back today to talk over DJ Chark to the Carolina Panthers. Dale, you can find him over on Twitter at Dynasty_Dale. Dale, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great tonight. How are you?
Pretty good. How's the playing going?
Oh, it's going pretty
The
good. Like it's a lot
acting.
of acting, like it's a lot of dancing, moving, singing. It's great so far.
The hips don't lie, folks. You've heard it here first. The hips
I
don't lie.
definitely don't have those, so I can't lie about that.
All right. So today we're going to just be talking quickly about DJ Chark going to Carolina and his dynasty value that we're kind of deeming for him. So he's someone that's been a little interesting, just looking at it in the community. It's really mixed. And when you look at DJ Chark, you got his sleeper profile. Again, if you're on YouTube, go check it out. Well, if you're on YouTube, you can see all this. I don't know why I'm saying that. But if you're not on YouTube, go check out the YouTube. And you've got nice visuals to go along with the podcast. You can kind of see what we're saying here a little bit with the sleeper stats and everything like that. So go check that out. Dynasty After Dark YouTube channel. And if you're on YouTube and you just want to listen to the audio version, you don't really care for the graphics, we're available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher. I think there's a ton of places, pretty much anywhere that podcasts are found, you can find us there. So go check us out there if you need the audio only version. All right, so DJ Chark, 26 years old, 6'4", 205 pounds, played at LSU. I find this hilarious. He played at the LSU Tigers, right? They're the Tigers.
hmm
Goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, goes to the Detroit Lions, and now is with the Carolina Panthers. He's just
Yes,
he's a big cat fan, DJ Chark.
absolutely. Yeah, he is. He is.
So, the exciting thing about him, he signs for a 1-year deal, not a very big contract. I think it was $6 million, give or take, on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And the one thing I've seen a lot, he didn't get paid much, so he's not part of the game plan and all this stuff. And I don't think people understand this because I have heard this from people, but in 2024, there is going to be a massive explosion of salary cap because that's when all the betting markets are, like all the gambling sponsorships, new TV deals, all this stuff, like all the different things that the NFL negotiates, it all hits next year and it's all in effect. So you're going to see probably a massive salary cap jump next year, like much higher than
Yeah.
like probably 40 million, maybe even 50 million next year, which is so much higher than anything we've seen in the
That's
past, right?
huge. That's huge.
You're
Yeah.
talking like 16 million. Oh, 16, that's one wide receiver. But you're probably going to see like a 30 to 40 million dollar jump in salary cap. So a lot of the agents have been pushing for 1-year deals so that everybody hits the market in 2024 with that higher salary cap, and you can renegotiate when there's more money available for all these teams. So, that's one thing to keep in mind here. The fact that he did take a 1-year flyer deal was very interesting to me, back-to-back 1-year flyer deals with
hmm
Detroit, now with Carolina. Who's the other? He's probably just gearing up to go to the Cincinnati Bengals after they lose T. Higgins
Oh,
next year.
probably. Absolutely. Yeah.
But no, I think it's one thing to keep in mind there. But you look at his production over the last couple of years, and you go back, his second year, his sophomore season was his best fantasy finish by far. Wide receiver 17 in PPR leagues, just had 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 73 catches that year. Every other year, he's kind of been middling. 49 is the next highest, 135, 76. Had the injury in 2021, was kind of banged up at the beginning of this year, and everyone says, oh, well, he's injury prone. Yeah, but I mean, he tore his ACL in 2021, and we've seen it multiple times that not all the time these guys can come back after when he tears it in season in 2021, right?
Yeah.
He played 4 games. He started in the 4th game and tore it in that 4th game. And sometimes it takes these guys more than a year to get back on the field healthy, right? So the fact that he was having, I believe it was hamstring issues too, which is super common with an ACL tear. You're going to have hamstring
Yep.
issues when you come back. So he really came back in week 12 of this last season. 9 points in his first real game back, 14.8, 21.4, 2.8, 14.8, 7.6, 4.4. So you really saw him get heavily involved when he did get back on the field with Detroit. And I believe in the talent. What are your thoughts on DJ Chark right now? And do you think he's fully healthy?
I would say he's healthier than what he was coming in last year to Detroit, definitely. It's having another off season to kind of do some rehab, to not have the hamstring issues and to not have the knee issues or as badly is fantastic. So I'm more excited about him this year than I was last year going in off the ACL.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And then you look at that. So health wise, he should be better, right? And again, you go back
Yes.
to his last real healthy season, which is 2020. And again, I've got this on YouTube. 2020 was the Gardner Minshew and Nick Foles year for Jacksonville. It was kind of a
Yeah.
messy season there. The fact that he still had 53 catches for 706 yards and 5 touchdowns in a bad year for Jacksonville does say something. I do think that there is a lot of talent with this kid. Now, I'm not saying that DJ Chark is going to be a top 12 fantasy wide receiver. That's not what I'm saying. But I do
No.
believe that he has the talent to be a top 24 guy, especially with
Yeah.
this offense. Now, let's kind of pivot that into the Carolina Panthers. They bring in Andy Dalton to be the mentor for whoever they take at number 1 overall.
Mhm.
All signs point to them taking CJ Stroud.
Yep.
You have what's the guy's name? The old quarterback that's going to be the QB coach over there.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
okay.
You have to
Yes, I
you
do.
pull him up while I'm talking here. But he basically said that he is going to play hoops with him when he's down in Charlotte, living down in Charlotte, essentially. So he almost basically told CJ Stroud that they were going to draft him number 1 overall. And it just makes sense. You look at Frank Reich's profile of QBs. Frank Reich's a bigger dude as well. Bryce Young just never really seemed like the fit there with Carolina. So
Mhm.
I never thought it made a ton of sense there. So um, I do
Yeah, yeah,
believe,
yeah, no.
who is
Yeah,
it?
no, I agree with that, and then, like, at the pro day for Ohio State, I think it was Tuesday, they had their pro day,
Yep.
and then, like, Josh McCown was
Josh
the one
McCown.
talking to him.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
was the one talking to him and kinda hyping him up, and I think they need someone who's able to kinda stand in the pocket a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
not get too rattled by all of that, and I feel they have a fairly average offensive line, like,
It's getting better
it's
though.
not bad.
Definitely getting better.
It's not bad, and I think they have a good running back coming in, which is gonna help out, but, I think with his fantasy value is gonna be very interesting in what people think, and I do think it's gonna be a lot lower for where he's probably gonna finish off.
Sure. So looking at the other talent, though, you got
Mhm.
Andy Dalton as the quarterback, probably
Yep.
rookie CJ Stroud. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to be on the bench very long, to be honest with you. He might even be
No.
the starter at the beginning of the year. I know people were excited about Andy Dalton. Oh, he's PFF's like number 3 quarterback on the season last year. He was also garbage. So let's just keep that in mind there.
Yeah,
So
he was not good.
yeah. So Andy Dalton, not that good of a quarterback, and CJ Stroud, I think, is very good. Again, very
Mhm.
accurate guy. There's going to be learning curves with him. He's going to throw interceptions, things like that. But I think he's probably the most accurate out of all the quarterbacks in this upcoming draft.
Mhm.
I've said that since day one, and I'm not backing down on that at all. And, he does have a pretty solid arm as well. And DJ Chark has played more of a deeper, outside. He's a typical kind of X wide receiver. He's not the route running extraordinaire that you're going to have on the outside. He's more of the I'm going to bully you and kind of take the ball that way. So I like that a lot with CJ Stroud. Definitely going to be interesting. Him and Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, I understand, what people are saying, but you see his stats here. He's going to be 33 by the start of the season. How many
Yes.
times is a 33-year-old wide receiver that, he started pretty late in his career, to be fair, but you've
Yeah.
seen 3 years now of him just dropping off a cliff. Like he's declining in talent, and it's fine. It's fine. Adam Thielen is going to be serviceable for this team, but he's not going to be an alpha dog on this offense. You've
No,
got
no.
Laviska Shenault, you've got Shi Smith, Terrace Marshall. None of these guys have the talent to be an alpha dog like DJ Chark does. they're not going to take another wide receiver in this draft. They've got too many other needs. This defense is pretty good, so I think the offense is going to have a lot of opportunities. Miles Sanders is probably going to have a pretty good season. They brought in Hayden Hurst, so there's a lot of competition for targets, but I do think they're going to throw the ball quite a bit. If you look at what Frank Reich did in Indy, it was a pretty pass-centric offense, and again, he's going to make it easier for the rookie QB and everything, but it's like 57, 58%, I believe, without looking off the top of my head, on average, what he ran pass versus run. So 58% passing, that's going to lead to a lot of opportunities with a defense this good. So I do believe DJ Chark, looking at it last year, he had 52 targets on 11 games. Again, he had a few of the games don't even count. In week 2 and week 11, he played like nothing in those games. And in that week 2 game, that was the one where he had almost 2 touchdowns in that game. It was just crazy. But just Jared Goff just barely overthrew him just slightly. But yeah, you just look at it, and I think that he's on pace for at least 100 targets as long as he can stay healthy. Probably around 70, 75 catches. I do believe he's going to have quite a few touchdowns because that's just what he does. He'll probably have 7, 8 touchdowns again. And I think he'll probably be a little shorter in the yardage. He'll probably have around like 850 to 950 yards, somewhere in that range. And I believe that's going to be good enough for wide receiver 2 overall. And the beauty of it is DJ Chark can probably be had for a late second-round pick, maybe even a third. People just do not care about DJ Chark, and I think it's a travesty. I would love to have DJ Chark on my team.
Right. No, I do agree with that evaluation of him as like a mid to late second, maybe even early first, in a pick. So, but I do think he's going to be the wide receiver 1 on this team. I think he's going to get more of the targets, and I think he's going to get different targets than Adam Thielen and Hayden Hurst do. So I think that's going to be helpful with him, and then along with that, like I was saying before, like he has another year to kind of heal up and to get better. So I do agree he's probably going to have around 100 or so targets. He's probably going to have probably about 80 catches, maybe 70 to 80 catches. I think where I kind of differ on you is like the touchdowns. Like I do think he'll have a couple fewer touchdowns, but that's only because I feel Adam Thielen is going to steal a few of those red zone touchdowns and stuff like that. But
he is very good at it. Both of these guys are good at getting
yes,
touchdowns, to be fair. They are both very good.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where it'll be interesting because Adam Thielen has seen a downtick. He's just seen a downtick in athleticism over the last couple of years. And again, it's just natural with getting older, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens. I do believe that there's going to be quite a few touchdowns where DJ Chark is just going to be streaking down the sideline, and CJ Stroud is going to be able to hit him right in stride. Like that's the beauty of CJ Stroud to this team. I love it so much. I'm going to be so excited about CJ Stroud to Carolina. But no, I like it a lot. And again, if let's say that CJ Stroud, he'll probably throw for about 25 touchdowns. Is it crazy to think that 7 of them go to DJ Chark if he stays healthy? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. And again, you're getting him for maybe a 3rd-round pick, a late second. Like
I would do that in a heartbeat.
That's crazy.
I honestly would. Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
Go ahead. I was just gonna pull up his keep trade cut. Just everyone loves. It's such a controversial. Just out of curiosity, what his actual trade value would be on here, right?
Right. I think he's in keep trade cut. He's like the top of tier 13, so it's about wherever like Ishan Boutte is going in drafts.
301.
Yeah. So
man, that's crazy.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
So if you can get him for the 301 or a 3rd round, maybe 2 3rd-round picks, do that in a heartbeat. Right. I do believe in the talent of DJ 100%. Chark. I think that he's going to be very, very good again for the Panthers. I think he is the number 1 guy, and they could really re-sign him. They need, they gave up a lot to move up to number 1 overall. They gave up their 1st round in 2024 as well, right?
Yeah, yes, they did. Yep.
So yeah, they're not going to be able to get a high valued wide receiver in that year either. I mean, if they get anybody, it's going to be later round picks. So I like it a lot. I do like Frank Reich for this team. I think that it's a pretty good combination there. So DJ Chark, we're fans of him. I think that the narrative on him is a little overblown, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter like, "Oh, he's not going to do anything." Yeah, but he could though. I think that there's a
I
real
think he's
possibility.
I think he's primed to do some damage. I don't think he's going to be a world beater by any means.
No, no.
Like I've been seeing a lot of people are trying to hype up Terrence Marshall, and I would much rather have DJ Chark over Terrence Marshall. So,
Oh, for sure.
at the very least, Chark has done something in his career, and it has been reliable and has been somewhat productive. So, I would much rather have Chark than of any any of the catching options on Carolina right now.
Yeah, and that's where, again, I think that he's kind of feast or famine. Again, he's the more of a deeper
Hmm.
threat, right? But it,
Yeah,
again, you go back to that Washington game. He had zero. He goosed you in that game. 0 of 4
yeah,
in that game. But 2 of those targets were literally inches out of reach from him. And if Jared Goff hits him in stride, he would have had like 25 points in that game. That's how close it
yeah,
was for him just to be just a monster in those weeks. So, just want to point that out there. And yeah, I think that DJ Chark, when he's healthy and when he plays, I believe you can rely on him to be a
hmm,
solid, starter in a deeper league.
yeah,
So, again, that's our thoughts on DJ Chark. Hit us up on Twitter at TDC_Calvin, at Dynasty_Dale. You can leave a comment down and below in YouTube or wherever you're listening to the podcast. If you can, also leave a review, comment, like, subscribe, whatever it is, just to help out the podcast. We're trying to grow, and hopefully here this week, I don't know when this video is going to be coming out. We're recording a couple of them here, but
mm,
we're going to have a guest on, hopefully to do a couple of episodes here this week. So stay
yeah.
tuned. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, have a good night.